apologize for my disheveled appearance, but hey, the Gawker verdict hit. So I have an actual free speech expert here to talk. So we got Marc Randazza on the phone. Marc, you want to talk real quick?
Sure. Well, the much awaited verdict is out. $115 million against Gawker over posting the sex tape of Hulk Hogan and Bubba the Love Sponge's wife. And some of the facts in this case have been a little weird, little distressing, little unclear. Shit. Can you hold on 1 second?
Yeah, I can.
I got somebody, a contractor coming to the gate.
That's life. Reality, right? Reality. Yeah, so they're okay, so as you were.
Yeah, this is Marc Randazza. You just called to let somebody in at the gate? Great, let him in. Okay, so where were we? All right, so after, you can edit that out.
We're live, my friend.
Oh shit. Okay.
It happened. We're not CNN. We're not the Cernovich News Network yet. We're just fucking live, my man.
Oh, well, good thing it wasn't the escort service I called.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyway, yeah, there was a call. There was the facts here a little bit distressing or not. I mean, I thought it all was in good fun that he was having sex with his friend's wife. The facts seem to have proven out differently, but I don't know when you watch the tape. But that's ultimately irrelevant. I mean, what happened here is the jury found that this was an invasion of his privacy, superior to Gawker's First Amendment rights. And I tell you, the way that the case went, Gawker didn't do itself any favors. You kind of knew how this was gonna go, or I don't know. I can say that all I want as a lawyer sitting on the sidelines. It's kind of like somebody sitting on their couch watching a football game saying, I knew who was going to win in the third quarter. But this was like a third quarter fumble when Gawker's publisher was talking about how anything would be newsworthy. A sex tape is newsworthy as long as the person's over the age of 4. And, he said later he was just being sarcastic. But this is something that you got to watch out for in litigation, because sometimes when I'm trying to do a deposition, I think about how the transcript is going to look, and sometimes, sarcasm just doesn't play. You don't see it in the words. And I remember one time I was representing a guy who he was Chinese and he didn't speak. I understood everything he said. My opposing counsel insisted he couldn't understand his broken English. So he tried to force him to testify in Chinese. And I said, good luck to you. This is an American citizen. I would love to go to Fox News and say, I have a high profile case where they're trying to force an American citizen to testify in a foreign language. So at one point where there was an allegation that he had called somebody a prostitute, he actually said, no, it's more like gold digger. And then you look at the transcript and it says, gold digger. The court reporter got it. Mm-hmm. Then it says gold digger with a question mark. Then from me, gold digger. And then from someone else, gold digger. And it's the whole page. And I just laughed my ass off because it sounds like that, that song when you look at it. But it played really nicely on the transcript. It's that kind of thing here. Artistically, this case just played out so ugly for Gawker that I'm not surprised. And, we're not done yet.
Right, and that's definitely what we want to talk about, because I guess here be my first question that everybody wants to know. Okay, they got hit $115 million in compensatory damages, which I'll just say for the people who might not know what that means. The jury said that Hulk Hogan was damaged emotionally and economically by $115 million. Now the jury can come back and say, that wasn't to punish you, Gawker. Now we're going to go to the punitive damages portion. Now we really want Gawker to feel the burn and to feel that leg drop. So what do you think is going to happen when the punitive damages award comes back?
I'd be pretty surprised if this jury didn't destroy him. I mean, look, at this point, it's kind of when you owe the bank $10,000, it's your problem. When you owe them 10 million, it's the bank's problem.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, here, I don't know that Gawker's worth 100 million. I mean, is it? I don't know anything about their value, but yeah, I would say it's probably going to be 3 times that.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be huge. And, the thing about this that doesn't necessarily, I mean, yes, it bothers me as a free speech advocate. Should the press get crushed for doing something that arguably is a matter of public concern? Now, is it really a matter of public concern? I liked the argument that, well, Hogan made his sex life a matter of public concern, so stuff about this is a matter of public concern. But, did he make actual graphic representations, hidden camera videos of his sex life a matter of public concern? I mean, by that measure, think about like the Erin Andrews tape of her in her hotel room, right? She's on TV. People look at her. They think she's hot.
That's how she got her job. I mean, she got her job because she's a nice, pretty blonde with the big old titties. And somebody actually made the point, too, how many naked people has Erin Andrews walked in on and invaded their privacy? So, yeah, I like that there are a lot of these issues that we deal with all the time. Well, when the fappening happened, Jezebel said, boy, if you post any of these celebrities' naked pictures, you're a rapist, you're a sex offender, you're this. Well, yeah, but every celebrity who does a nude scene or a topless scene, does that mean, well, or if you go to Howard Stern and you talk about your sex life, okay, now we have the right to know, we can spy on you, we can revenge porn you, we can do whatever we want. Nobody was buying into that, not even Gawker, because they played that game with Hulk Hogan, but with everybody else, they said, oh, you're the worst people in the world, even watching a leaked video with somehow people.
And look, I agreed. I agreed with the view that, when the fappening happened, I didn't want to see any of those pictures. Those people didn't mean for those to be public, and I'm gonna respect that. Even though I got to admit, I was somewhat curious. But I just wasn't. I wasn't going to do that simply because I didn't feel right about it. Here, did they really need to do a whole minute? Was it a minute and a half of this sex tape? Right. What's the purpose for it? And I really kind of liked the ending where his lawyer said even the Dirty and TMZ didn't publish it. So what does that tell you? Yeah. Which I disagree with that on one level, because I think, frankly, I think the Dirty and TMZ are actually somewhat ethical, quite ethical. I mean, I know how their operations work, and they have a very good sense of ethics, even though people at their targets might not like it. They might be sensational, but there's a difference between what you can do and what you ought to do. And I know that both of those organizations think about what ought we do. And you don't get these questions when you adhere to journalistic ethics. See, that's the gap, and this is the problem, is when you decide you're going to push all the way up to what you think you can legally do, and you say, fuck it with ethics. Well, that's when we get into the situation like this, where we say, that's why we can't have nice things, Gawker. Is this going to get upheld on appeal? It just might. It wasn't. Not
to interrupt you, but the real hot take now is, it used to be in Florida you had to post 100% of the verdict to even appeal. Is that still the case, or can the appellate court here say, well, you don't have to post at all? Can you get an insurance policy, or what's going on procedurally?
Well, right now, in order to appeal in the 11th Circuit, they're going to have to post, I think it's 110 or 120% of the bond. So, they're gonna have to get a bond for that kind of money. Look, that's like $12 million, to $15 million that is gone. So I don't know that they're going to get a stay on that. So look, ultimately, I hate to do this kind of short, but I have got life going on here. Right. But I would say that not very many people are shedding a tear for Gawker right now. I did an interview with some mainstream media on it, where I said, I think it's protected, but ultimately, if we ever invent a time machine, let's not go back to 1789, because Madison and Jefferson and Monroe will probably kick the living shit out of us for doing this with the First Amendment. Mm-hmm. Although somebody did comment that Ben Franklin probably would have got a Woody over it.
Well, okay, thanks for coming on. Just one thing, so I make sure I understand Florida law. Gawker is going to have to hire a third party and give them 10% of whatever the verdict is in order to appeal.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's how a bond works.
Yeah.
So, where you're going to get $115 million bond to appeal. And I'm sorry, this was state court. So they're going to be going up to not to the 11th Circuit. They're going to be going up to the second DCA, which, the second DCA is pretty media friendly. It's a good court. It's very, that's the defense attorneys on this case, just real quick they're some of the best in the game. I mean, the lead counsel and the Tampa counsel, Greg Thomas. I mean, that guy's fantastic. Seth Berlin, Levine Sullivan. They didn't go out and just hire some idiots to do this thing. So you bungle this. This was something. This was not a fumble. These guys did absolutely the best work that you can do. But look, the facts are the facts. The jury's the jury. I think on appeal this does get reduced. Mm-hmm. But it's still going to be, a pretty good day of Schadenfreude for those people who hate Gawker.
Great. Well, thanks. This is Marc Randazza. He's a free speech lawyer, First Amendment lawyer. I'll link to his website at dangerousplay.com. We've talked to Marc before. Thanks for tuning in. Make sure you disable everything so we don't see you having sex over the desk or something like that.
All right. Bye.
Thanks, Marc. All right, guys. Well, that was fun. As you can see, Gawker is fucking hurting. Whatever happens, that they might not have to pay the full amount. The verdict might be reduced, but they're feeling the pain. I'm happy. I think you're all happy. So if you guys have any quick questions, let me know. I think Marc covered it well. We weren't going to talk about this the full day, but the Gawker, they brought that New York snark on. They were so used to snarking on everyone, attacking everybody, having one. Everybody's afraid of Gawker. And what happened? This happened. Gawker is, by the way, the parent company. So Kotaku, Jezebel, all those other companies, they might have to be spun out. Gawker may have to sell those. They may all get shut down. It's going to be a very bad week for Gawker. Maybe a very bad year. Maybe they're all done. I'm happy that it happened to them. Couldn't have happened to worse people. So thanks for tuning in. This is Mike Cernovich from Danger and Play Media.